Collier Young was driving his old car very fast, singing loudly and off-key, indicating his singing was not very good. It was very hot, and the road looked empty. Suddenly, he saw someone by the road. This person, wearing a bright Hawaiian shirt and shorts, was waving with a big smile. Collier usually didn't trust strangers, but today he stopped his car. "Hey there, headed to Vegas?" the hitchhiker asked with a big smile, getting in the car before Collier could answer. "I'm Collier, and yes, Vegas. You?" Collier was uncomfortable. The stranger acted as if he knew Collier, making Collier regret stopping his car. However, he was feeling a strange connection. "Call me Marcus," Marcus said with a playful grin. "I go wherever the road goes." His eyes twinkled mischievously. As they drove, Marcus told Collier amazing stories about his trips. Each new story was more unbelievable than the last one. "So there I was in the Amazon, arm wrestling an actual shaman for the last piece of chocolate." Marcus chuckled. Collier laughed, opening himself up to the adventure a little. "You expect me to believe that?" While Collier was putting gas in his car, Marcus came closer, his eyes shining, and said, "Think what you like, my friend. The world is full of surprises." Then, speaking more quietly, Marcus added, "And you know, just when I didn't think it could get weirder, I found an old temple in Thailand. It was covered by plants and hidden for many, many years. Can you believe that? A very old temple that no one has touched for a long time." An old man at the next pump overheard them. "Are you talking about the Temple of Quetzar? My son was on that archaeology team." Marcus winked at Collier, his eyes sparkling more than before. Marcus kept telling wild stories. After a while, they both were quiet. Then Collier laughs and shakes his head to break the silence and says, "I've met many people, but you are one of a kind." Collier: "I've met a lot of people, Marcus, but you're something else." Marcus grins. "And that's a good thing, right?" Collier nodded, a smile forming on his lips. "Absolutely. It's great to meet someone who values memories over money, collecting stories instead of dollars." As the car moves fast through the desert, Marcus lowers the music and looks serious for a bit. Marcus said, "You know, Collier, even with all those stories, it can get lonely. Adventures are everywhere on the road, but the ones we share are the ones that really matter." Collier looks at Marcus, noticing the change in his voice. "I understand. Finding trustworthy real friends is rare." As they got close to Vegas, Marcus quickly pointed at a small, dusty road. "Hey, let's go this way. I know a special place. It's different from any place on Earth." Collier usually stuck to the main roads, but something felt exciting about this day. Feeling curious, Collier turned the car onto the dusty road, excited to see what secret Marcus had up his sleeve. For a short time, Marcus's excitement fades a little, showing a rare moment of doubt. Marcus, you know, this place, it's special to me. I stumbled upon it during a time when I really needed to find something magical. Collier felt the change in his friend's mood, the excitement mixed with a bit of sadness. "There's a story behind that, right?" he asked gently. "Tell me." A small smile returned to Marcus's face, warmed by Collier's care. "It's a long story," he said softly. "Maybe for another time. But know this, bringing someone here, it means a lot." Marcus spoke quietly, but his words felt important, like they hid a secret about the special place. As they drove down the dusty road, the mystery grew, and Collier felt excited about what they might discover together. Collier nodded seriously, understanding what Marcus meant. "I feel special you want to show me this place. Let's make some new stories together." Marcus laughs. "You fell for that? Don't be so gullible, buddy. Don't be so quick to believe everything I say, my friend." They reached this secret spot with a small lake. The water was very clear. It was surrounded by lush trees and plants in the middle of Nevada. Yes, in dry Nevada. "This is incredible," Collier said, awestruck. "Just wait," Marcus said, smiling in a knowing way. Suddenly, the water lit up with bright colors, and a group of people came out. They were dressed in elaborate costumes, dancing and laughing. "It's a secret place that surprises even scientists. This party is only once a year," said Marcus as he went to join the fun. Collier followed, feeling very excited. The party was different from anything Collier had seen before. Eccentric characters from everywhere were there together. An elderly lady with neon pink hair challenged Collier to a dance-off. They had a dance competition. A funny mime, without saying a word, made everyone laugh so hard their bellies hurt. Their silly jokes, played out only with their body and face, were simply amazing. Marcus's eyes sparkled with excitement as he nudged Collier towards a hidden spot. There, half buried in the sand, was an ancient chest. Both friends looked at each other, their faces buzzing with excitement. What could be inside? They just had to find out. "Can we open it?" he asked Collier, barely able to hold himself back. There was something special about that secret box, and he couldn't wait to peek inside. They found maps and a stone that glowed softly. Marcus picked up the stone and whispered softly, "Do you feel it, Collier? Do you think these maps lead to real places, and this stone holds some powers?" Before Collier could answer, a loud fight broke out, spoiling their treasure hunt moment. Back at the party, a serious-looking man was yelling at some of the guests. It didn't look good. Feeling worried, Marcus and Collier hurried over to see what was happening. "What's going on here? What's happening?" Collier asked, concerned. This party is over. You're trespassing on private property and breaking the rules by being here, the man declared, not caring about the happy music and decorations. But, sir, this is a tradition, a night of happiness and connection, Marcus tried to explain. His usual cheerfulness turned into a serious tone. Collier jumped in. Maybe we can find a solution that makes everyone happy? His voice was hopeful, even though the grumpy man didn't look like he liked parties much. Marcus added, "Look around. See the smiles, feel the joy. This is rare and beautiful." The man stopped talking and looked around at everyone's excited faces. He took a deep breath and said, "Fine, you can keep the party going, but remember, be careful and treat this place with respect." Big happy sounds filled the air. The party came back to life, hooray, saved from almost ending in disappointment. As the party restarted, Collier saw Jenna coming towards him. She had a big smile on her face, just as lively and friendly as he remembered her. Jenna. "Collier, what are the odds?" Her voice was filled with warmth, and she hugged him like no time had passed. Surprised, Collier gave a small smile. "Jenna, hey. Yeah." He wasn't sure what to say. He hadn't seen Jenna in a long time, and his feelings were mixed. Jenna excitedly talked about her recent adventures, her enthusiasm contagious. Collier nodded along. He mumbled, "Uh-huh," and said short words, trying to smile. Pictures from their past flashed in his head, all with secrets he didn't want to think about. "What about you? What's new?" Jenna asked, her eyes shining, wanting to talk about their old times. Collier shrugged. "Not much," he said, keeping his answers short, unlike Jenna's openness. She either didn't notice or ignored his quietness, and carried on with stories of her travels. Despite her upbeat demeanor, Collier felt himself holding back. Jenna excused herself with a wave, heading off to talk to other friends. Left alone, Collier thought over their meeting. Even though people were laughing and music was playing, Collier felt strangely alone. As dawn broke, meaning as the sun was coming up, Marcus and Collier sat by the lake. They shared stories about their lives, things they hadn't talked about on the road. Marcus talked about his dreams of writing a book. Collier was listening carefully. Collier shared his fears of becoming stagnant, his worry of staying in the same place, of life moving on without him. They talked like old friends. Suddenly, Marcus stopped Collier from touching a pretty plant. "Careful, that's poisonous," he said calmly. Learned that the hard way exploring remote villages in Indonesia. Collier froze, surprised. He realized there was so much about Marcus he didn't know. How many secrets did this mysterious friend hold? His curiosity sparked, and he knew their adventure had just begun. Collier, still amazed by Marcus's quick plant knowledge, continued the conversation. "We're more alike than I thought, Max," he said. "We're both searching for something bigger, something more exciting than everyday life." Sensing the conversation was getting serious, Marcus looked at Collier with a playful spark in his eye. "You won't believe this, but I once participated in a traditional tribal dance ceremony in Papua New Guinea, ended up leading the dance troupe and becoming an honorary member of the tribe, complete with the full outfit." Marcus described the feathered headdress that was too big for his head and the traditional skirt that made him itch in places he couldn't scratch in public. Collier burst out laughing, picturing Marcus in his awkward yet impressive new attire. "Max, I don't know half of what's true about you, but your stories are definitely something else." He shook his head, still amused, as Marcus continued weaving his next captivating tale. Their journey was filled with not just adventure, but also with laughter and the growing bond of two friends sharing their hidden stories and dreams. Marcus's expression turned serious. "I've got to move on," he said, his voice soft yet firm. A wave of sadness washed over Collier. "Already leaving?" he asked, surprised at how shaky his voice had become. Marcus made Collier laugh a lot and shared many amazing stories. Thinking about their time together, Marcus's adventures and talks opened Collier's eyes to new things. Saying goodbye was harder than Collier thought. Marcus didn't answer Collier's question directly. Instead, he put the glowing stone in Collier's hand with a wink. "Here's something for your next adventure," he said with a smile. "You never know when a good luck charm might come in handy." Holding the stone, Collier realized the depth of their bond. "Thanks, Marcus, for everything." Marcus smiled. "Let the world change you, Col. Then you change the world, one story at a time." As the sun rose, casting a golden glow over the horizon, Collier watched Marcus walk away. In that moment, he understood this was not just a farewell. It felt like Marcus was encouraging him to explore new paths and discover new stories. He held the warm, glowing stone Marcus had given him, a reminder of their exciting journey together. A smile appeared on Collier's face. He wasn't sure if all of Marcus's stories were true, but it didn't really matter. Those stories had made him laugh and opened his eyes to a world beyond his usual routes. For the first time in a while, Collier felt excited. The road ahead looked like an open book, full of possibilities. He didn't know where he would go next, but he was certain he wouldn't stick to the usual routes anymore. He would create his own stories, 1 mile at a time, carrying Marcus's friendship and the mysterious stone with him as his lucky charm. So many places to explore, so many hidden gems to find, maybe even a crazy fight over chocolate with some strange guy. One thing was certain: life wouldn't be boring anymore. And that, Collier realized with a grin, was the best adventure of all. Keep practicing, and you'll get better at English every day. See you next time. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and notification bell for more stories, chats, lessons, and more. Happy learning!